Shabbat Shalom, friends. Every October in Massachusetts, there's a rowing competition called the Head of the Charles Regatta. Some of you know it. Excellent. Rowers from across the country come and compete on the Charles River, and hundreds of thousands flock to the riverbanks to watch them. Years ago, Rabbi Moshe went to watch. He saw all the wonderful crews doing their work, their intensive physical exertion, their crafted excellence in their sport. And then he noticed that one of the crews was from Yeshiva University. Is the Yeshiva University rowing alumni here? Rabbi Moshe was overjoyed. His heart was filled with pride. There his alma mater was representing. He watched the first race, and they finished last. He watched their second race, and they finished last. Same in the third. He was bothered. He had no expectation that they were going to win, but to finish last 3 times in a row? Embarrassing. So after the race, the rabbi goes in search of the crew, and he finds them along the river, and he approaches the team captain. He says, I hope you don't mind my saying so. I was a little disappointed at what I saw today. Maybe you should hang out with the Harvard or Yale guys. Pick up a couple pointers, a couple notes maybe. Maybe you'll learn something and do better next time. A few months go by, and the captain runs into the rabbi and he says, Rabbi, you were exactly right. The team from Harvard and the team from Yale had a totally different approach. I learned so much from them. Thank you. The rabbi says, no, what did you learn? He said, they have 6 guys who row and only 1 that yells. So friends, tonight I use that as an opener to speak about sports and shouting and this week's Torah portion. Last week I was not here, I was in Southern California. Yay, California, this is such a lively, cheering night, I like it. Reliving the glory days of my life before becoming a rabbi, I went with my best friend to see one of my all-time favorite music bands, a very heavy metal band called Metallica. You've heard of them. I thought I was going to have to tell all the elders, like tell your grandkids, the rabbi talked about Metallica in his sermon, he's so hip. But you've heard of them, right? I saw them not once, but twice, thanks to my beautiful, loving, and understanding wife. I love Metallica for many reasons. I'm going to share with you one. They have a song that Jacob, my 5-year-old, called Metallica's Passover song. It's called Creeping Death. And it's about the angel of death in the 10th plague of the Passover story. But one of the reasons I love that song, well, it's biblically accurate. The band did their research when they wrote this song, and goes right from the book of Exodus. There's no Jews in the band, but good on them. I've seen them over 20 times. I always love it. So there we were last week, 85,000 people in a football stadium. Everyone wearing a black t-shirt with a band logo on it, and there was a lot of shouting. And something happened that made me realize on a new level why I love this band so much. In between the 3rd or 4th song, the singer James screams out to the crowd, "How many of you, is this your first time seeing Metallica?" And a lot of people cheered. And he said, "Welcome to the Metallica family." He said, "I'm so glad you're here. We need you. Each of you brings something special. And tonight, from each of you, we need your voice. So sing along with me." And they broke into a song, and 85,000 people screamed and sang along. It was really, really amazing. And it made me think of you. It made me think of our temple family, our temple team, as I like to spell it, TEEM. A team is a group of people who share a mission and feel ownership and feel responsibility, and they work together to bring that mission to life. That's us. Our members, our guests, our staff, new and long-term, our religious school teachers, volunteers, committee heads, lay leaders, board, the donors, those who receive gifts and generosity, those who greet, the sisters from the sisterhood in the gift shop, the people in the library, the shomers, everyone helps make our temple alive. And you all, as our tagline says, belong here. I like to think that our temple family is part of TEEM Jewish. We play not such a sporty sport, but we play Torah, and we play mitzvot and commandments. We play community and gimilut chasadim, acts of loving kindness. And we play with the best of them. We're a good team. And each of us, of course, have our own individual responsibilities and strengths that we bring to the mission. But you've heard me say before, and I want to say it again, that being Jewish is not an individual effort. It's my belief that you can't do Jewish alone. Back to sports for a minute. And a really nice connection to Torah from JTS lecturer Craig Sheff. You probably know, if you've been around a bit, that UCLA sports is another one of my great passions besides Metallica. Football season kicks off tomorrow night. Go Bruins. But thinking about teams, one of the first things that came to mind were the decades of basketball glory at UCLA under coach John Wooden, who was one of the greatest coaches of all time. Anybody watch Ted Lasso? The pyramid of success is on the wall behind his desk. That John Wooden. Wooden was respected. He was revered, not just as a coach, but as a friend and a teacher, because he didn't shout. He wasn't a yeller. Sometimes at Bill Walton, but that was a different story. He had a deep understanding of psychology and motivation and organizational behavior, which made him more than a sports coach. He was one of the first real life coaches. In one of his many biographies, he said, "Everyone on our team, from the manager to the coach, from the secretary to the owner, has a role to fulfill. That role is valuable if the team is to reach its potential. Every single member of your team needs to feel wanted and appreciated. Do you want someone on your team who doesn't feel valued? How will they know that they matter unless you let them know?" In other words, everyone that puts their oar in the water on the rowing team not only matters, but should know it and feel it. Everyone on the team, even those who sit on the bench and don't get playing time, should know it and feel it. Everyone at that concert matters. Everyone at Temple matters. And I know I speak on behalf of our rabbis that we hope you feel it. In every family, on every team, each person is a part of the history, of the development, and hopefully of the success. And when we feel that, we are communally better for it. And that's where this week's Torah portion comes in. Ki tavo. In Deuteronomy 26, we read, "When you enter the land that Adonai your God is giving you and you possess it and settle it in it, Lakachta mereshit kol pri ha'adama asher tavi me'artzecha asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach. You shall take some of every first fruit of the soil, which you've harvested from the land that God has given you. Put it in a basket and go to a place that God will choose. There you will take it and go to the priest in charge and say to him, I acknowledge that I have entered the land that Adonai swore to our ancestors. The priest will then take the basket, place it upon the altar, and then you should recite as follows, the Torah says. My father was a wandering Aramean. He went down to Egypt and lived there and became great and populous. The Egyptians dealt harshly with us and made us slaves, and we cried and God heard our plea. Adonai freed us with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm and awesome powers, bringing us to this place where I now bring these first fruits of soil which you, Adonai, have given me. And then you shall enjoy, together with the family of the priest and all of the strangers in your midst, all of the bounty that God has bestowed upon you and your household. Sound familiar at all? Passover Haggadah?
Yeah.
But tonight I don't want to focus on Passover. I want to focus on the ritual of bringing the first fruit, which is a Thanksgiving offering. Professor Sheff says that the master coach, God, seizes the opportunity to give everyone on TEEM Israel, us, a moment to shine. Every player on the team is to fulfill the obligation by bringing a basket of first fruits. There's a playbook. We all recite the same formula, and we all get meaningful minutes on what he calls the divine court. It's a great metaphor. But what I love about these verses is the sum of all of the parts that we each bring, that we each say, that we're each connected to our history, our ancestors, our God. And in this moment, everyone participates equally and everyone gets credit for contributing. And from this, we're each given a way to feel a sense of pride and being a part of the team. Go TEEM Israel. Go TEEM Jewish. Go TEEM. But Rabbi, I don't have a basket full of first fruit from the harvest. And Rabbi, there's no altar or Levitical priests. They're all out of commission. Well, let me shout a few things at you that you can do to fulfill this and get some of those feelings of belonging to the team. Come to temple, sing out loud, and offer prayers. You can do that online too. Give tzedakah, join a committee, do a mitzvah, take time to welcome someone new to temple, or meet someone you've never met before. Say it out loud with me. My ancestor was a wandering Aramean too.
My ancestor was a wandering Aramean too.
Say thank you to God for all that has been overcome, all that has been provided in your life, all that you have. Say thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
I said I was going to talk about shouting. Friends, we're all in the boat together, and we all need to row. We're all part of the family, and you matter, and you belong, and you're part of a winning team that gets to shout for joy. Go TEEM. Shabbat Shalom.
Go Bruins.
Cheers.